What's up, guys? Welcome back. So we had a few videos on slowing down this car, specifically on the brakes. If you remember, I put Willwoods on the front, the rear came with the Willwoods. We used a manual master cylinder kit from Motion Raceworks, and then also installed a line lock. So the next step, the next evolution of slowing this car down, some of the OG followers remember I used a Motion Raceworks parachute mount to make a trailer hitch to go to drag week. Well, it's about time that we use the parachute mount for its intended purposes. So we're gonna first off, excuse the mess, still moving in.
What's in the box? What's in the box? Give me the gun.
Open up the box. Inside comes parachute from Stroud. What you're gonna do is you're gonna size your parachute based on weight and mile an hour. You're gonna go through the traps at Stroud has a chart. We follow it. It's pretty easy. If you can do left, right, up, and down, you can follow this and pick the right parachute for your vehicle. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take this guts out and then take the mounting plate and get it mounted to the upright and then put it all back together. Take the nail out. You're gonna let everything loose carefully because it is under pressure. And you're gonna keep this shoelace looking deal because it will help you put everything back together. All my GWAT vets, you know about the boot lace in the duffel bag. This is no different. So here we've got our pilot spring with the drogue chute, and then inside of here is going to be our little baggie with our parachute. We're going to move all that off to the side for now, and then we're going to get this aluminum plate mounted to this upright, then sandwich this bag in between both of these. So next step here, I've already done it, but you're gonna take your upright and roughly center it. Well, you're gonna center it. I got it within the 16th of an inch all the way around, and mark the four corners of the upright where the fasteners are gonna pass through. Mark it with a Sharpie. Then drill a hole in each of those spots. Next step, once you get the holes mounted in the aluminum backing plate, is you're going to drill through the bag, through the using the holes in your backing plate as an example. Another option, instead of drilling the holes, you can use your Army issue Gerber and just cut the holes in the bag. Once you get the bolts installed, go ahead and, if you don't already have the cable saver, I think that's what this is called. It comes in the Parachute Essentials pack from Motion. If you don't already have it, get it. If you're gonna buy a chute, get it. You're gonna want it if you don't have it. But you're gonna go ahead and put this on the right side of the chute. And then now's the time, and then you're gonna install the nuts onto these bolts. You're gonna drop one on the floor and hopefully your dog doesn't need it. Pick it up later, but you're gonna go ahead and install these nuts on there. I'd put the bolts on from the inside so that it would give the parachute the least opportunity for it to grab onto the threads. Right, once we've gotten the bag mounted to the upright, the next step is to take out our trailer hitch, which, if you want to see a video on how we make this, drop a comment and tell me how badly you want to see it. Once that's out, you're going to go ahead and slide your parachute upright into the receiver. And then I'm not going to show you because it's under the car and it's dark, but there's a 1/2 inch bolt that goes right through the receiver and the upright. Mounting the receiver is easy as can be. 4 bolts on either side. If you've ever taken the rear bumper off of one of these cars, it's basically the same thing. Next comes time to shove the parachute back in the bag. So when you're doing this, make sure you leave enough of this lead out of the bag so you can hook it up to the bottom of the upright. Okay, once you get the parachute back in there, the trick is to use the shoelace. You go through the loop and then go through each one of the eyelets of the other 3 flaps. Pull it while you're doing it. GWAT vets, you know what I'm talking about, trying to fit 10 pounds of shit in a 5-pound duffel bag, literally a duffel bag. Anyways, as you're pulling it tight and you're getting this loop all the way through, you're gonna put either the nail that comes with it or the cable or the remove before flight pin, safety pin. Once that nail's in place, you can take the shoelace out. And then the last step is to fasten, they call it a bridle or something, but attaching that to the bottom. And we're gonna do that now. You wrap it on there, then now all it's left is cable and the release. Okay, right, so I did the next step off camera, but the next step was to mount the parachute handle release. I chose a console mount version. It was pretty simple. It's just these 3 bolts, drill the holes, line up, and then this plate, and then the inner plate, which you can kind of see there, sandwiches between the plastic, and that's what holds it in place. After that, it was a matter of starting to run the cable. This little clamp here goes around the cable, and it's got a notch in the middle of it which locates that cable and keeps it from moving in and out. Once that was done, attached to the rod end at that end of the cable, and now it's time to start running the cable through the car. Okay, so we'd left off talking about mounting the parachute handle release. So I did that, and where we were at was routing the cable. So I went through cigarette lighter hole, because power now comes from the bulkhead in the USBs. But anyways, goes underneath, comes out of the console, around underneath the seat. And then it's easiest to show you this way. It goes out around here. I secured it here and then under the seat with one of these Adel clamps, P clamps, whatever you want to call it. It's just riveted to the floor with a, what is that, 3/16 rivet. Zip tied to the down bar, and then through the trim, through the body, out right next to the license plate, and then up through here, through the parachute, through the cable saver, and then into the loop where we have our remove before flight tag. So this was pretty simple. As far as we're going to talk about this, basically just come about 1 inch or so from the loop to where you want the end of your cable to be released, or where you want the end of your cable to go. This kit comes with a 14-foot cable, which is probably more than enough for most cars. To set the length, go inside the car, apply the parachute handle, release, come back out, and that inner cable is going to be at its shortest length. Hold it up here, measure about 1 inch, and then I used a bolt cutters. You could use a cutoff wheel, hose cutter, whatever the case is. Hacksaw if you hate your life, and just knock that off. Once you've got that done, you're going to fish the inner cable through that hole, through that loop. And because I'm nowhere near talented enough to try and do that with one hand while holding the camera, I just set it down and did it off camera. But what that's going to do is when you apply that cable now, this end is going to go all the way up to the edge of the cable, the outer braid or the outer cable. And then because it's under tension, it's going to spring away from the bag. So there we are. Not too bad of a job to do. The hardest part was actually, a few years ago when I did this, hard part was actually doing the trailer wiring harness for the trailer lights. But 4 bolts on each bumper end for the parachute mount. You saw the rest of it. But anyways, that's going to do it for this install. Pretty quick job. Links for all the parts will be in the description, as well as the store, blah blah, shirts and stickers. 2024 wall calendar if you want a calendar for the year being like a third over. Then cool. Got some cool cars in there from LS Fest. Maybe we'll do that again next year. Anyways, like, comment, share, subscribe. That's going to do it for this one.